I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Wednesday, July the 24th, brought to you in part by VITALIX by VITALIX. VITALIX is an oral nutritional supplement with one less needle and a few less worries. Recharge your herd. For more information, go to buymedaus.com. Feeder cattle futures out front. They have surpassed your index values, both real-time index and CME cash feeder cattle index, which has recently pulled back a little bit from last week's a little bit slip in your feeder cattle market. But boy, your buyers for feeder cattle are just really demanding cattle, despite all these grass cattle, all these grass yearlings moving to the feedlot and filling up pen space. But they are showing no signs of easing off at all. And we've also got buyers of grass cattle wanting to buy more cattle to put out on grass after they pull yearlings off, and some of your guys in the lower Midwest have cut hay and they've still got good grass out there, and they're buying cattle to turn out. But just excellent demand for all classes of feeder cattle and calves, and does not show any signs of stopping. Of course, the board was up pretty good on Tuesday. Really good, actually, after a pretty good up day on Monday following Friday's cattle on feed report. But just so far this week, really positive on your feeder cattle and calves. Spent Tuesday morning at Landmark Mercantile Livestock Auction setting up their broadcasting equipment. That is a brand new sale barn, going to be having their first sale ever here today on Wednesday. And that's in Mesquite, New Mexico. That's just north of El Paso there, guys. But if you can't make it down there, don't worry. You can get on DVAuction.com, view and bid that sale. Get a hold of them a little bit early so they can get you approved to bid. Got a pretty nice offering already on Tuesday afternoon of cattle and sheep and goats there for that sale down here in the desert Southwest. Spent later in the afternoon on Tuesday with my good friend Tato Medina Wallace down at Santa Teresa Livestock Auction, touring around the sale barn there and having a good visit with him and some of his help around there, and then going back to his home in El Paso, Texas for a nice meal, but enjoyed the visit with him. But pretty good time there with my buddy Tato. The Harriet Hagerman bill, the one that's going to stop mandatory EID. It's actually an amendment to the Ag Appropriations Bill. They have delayed the vote on that, but that just gives us more time to build up more support for that, guys. If we don't put up a stand, and you might not think it's that bad to have mandatory EID on the breeding stock, which is what they've already put through, but it hasn't been actually enacted yet. But Harriet's bill amendment is set to stop that. If we don't get behind that and push it and put up a pretty good fight, one morning we're going to wake up and it's going to be on all classes of cattle. We know what a wreck that would be. There's just no way to get them all EID tagged there. But we've got time to get more support for that bill. Call your lawmakers, get your grassroots cattlemen's associations behind this. And let's push it, guys. Callaway Livestock Video is going to have their first in-house video there at Kingdom City, Missouri. Callaway Livestock Center. It's going to be through DV Auction, but you can go on to Callaway Livestock Video, their website. You can access the same dashboard there. And their first sale is going to be a replacement stock sale. It's going to be tomorrow on Thursday evening, the 25th. Starting at 6 o'clock p.m. They got about 1,000 head of top quality black bred heifers and young bred cows, guys. And you know, you can get your replacements right there, going from their farm to your farm. And if that's something that matters to you, they won't have to pass through a stockyard facility there. But they're going to be having more sales and more feeder cattle in upcoming auctions at Callaway Livestock Video. Let's talk about your board on Tuesday. August live cattle futures were up 237 at 186.30. Big day for them. October was up 152 at 186.12. Your back months on live cattle were up 70 to up 137. Those are pretty big climbs, guys. August feeder cattle up 235 at 258.75. September was up 210, trading at a slight discount to August whenever our out front sales of feeder cattle have been higher, but 258.60 for September contracts on live cattle. Your back months were all up big from $1.02 to up 217. Talk about your grains. December corn on the settlement on Tuesday was up 2.25 cents a bushel at 4.17 1/4. November beans up 6 3/4 at 10.75 1/2. And Kansas City hard red winter wheat for September down 5 cents at 5.66 3/4. Fat cattle trade on a direct basis. We haven't seen hardly anything. Of course, it's early in the week. On Tuesday, we did see a load of mixed steers and heifers in Iowa sell at 194 live. Nebraska didn't post any sales on Tuesday. Kansas had 1,400 sell at 187, and then we heard that there was 188 bids in Kansas later. Didn't see anything up through 2 o'clock on Tuesday that was confirmed. Direct trade in Kansas negotiated. Texas did not have any negotiated sales to report on Tuesday, but we did have a market maker at Stockman's Livestock Market in Yankton, South Dakota. They had 900 head of fat cattle in overnight, 1,600 head for the fat cattle auction on Tuesday. Conventional fat cattle sold from 190 to 197.50. That was steady to a buck higher than last week. Didn't have a lot of program cattle, no drug-free cattle to speak of. Non-implanted program cattle there spring from $1.95 to $2 a pound, and that was 50 cents to $1 lower. But Gary Marks did note to me that there were not a lot of really well finished cattle there. You know, maybe we're getting kind of cleaned up with those really fat heavy cattle because we're not seeing them in Yankton, or we didn't see them on Tuesday anyway. But they are keeping these cattle on feed for more days, taking them to bigger weights, and of course that's going to bring about better quality grade there, but I still think that quality grade is boosted by the instrument grading. But box beef cutout values lower again. Choice not down too much, but down 23 cents at 313.21 on Tuesday afternoon. Select's down 167 at 296.66. Your slaughter catching up a little bit on Tuesday so far for the first 2 days of the week. 238,000 estimated harvest. That's just 1,000 less than the same time a week ago, and 10,000 less than the same time a year ago. Talk about what else is going on. Elite livestock sales. That's my friends that used to be at Montgomery Stockyards in Montgomery, Alabama, doing it all on video now with help from DVAuction. They are going to have their Black Belt Classic 2. That is going to be tomorrow on Thursday the 25th, starting at 3 o'clock Central. Okay? They're going to have about 85 loads of feeder cattle on there, sold in loads. Everything will be right. Quality is way better than you expect. Some of them might not have a lot of hair on them. You don't need hair when you're feeding cattle in August, September, and October, guys. But call Daryl Stokes there, owner and operator of Elite Livestock Sales. Get a hold of him for approval to bid online, DVAuction.com, or check out the loads that they've got at EliteLivestockSales.com. Talk about your feeder cattle market, your real-time index on DVAuction, based on an 800-pound cash auction steer up through your middle 12 states. Late today on Tuesday at 258.91, that was up another 30 cents after a big up day on Monday. CME cash feeder cattle index come up a little bit at 257.74. Another good sale we're going to have on Wednesday that will be available on DVAuction is South Central Regional Stockyards, Vienna, Missouri. This time of year they have really fancy calves, weaned calves there, guys. Gonna have a lot of them on Wednesday. Check that sale out on DVAuction.com. Check out our big sales on Tuesday. Ozarks Regional Stockyard in West Plains, Missouri had 3,100 head. It was cooler and nicer to move cattle in. This is the biggest run they've had for a while, but that's still not a really big run for them. But 3,100 head through the ring. Another 434 they had through their in-house video auction they do with help from DVAuction. But a really good sale in West Plains on Tuesday, guys. Feeder steers were $4 to $8 higher. Feeder heifers were not well tested, but steer calves steady to $4 higher. Heifer calves $3 to $8 higher, with spots as much as $12 higher through the ring there at West Plains, Missouri. But a big time quote they had out of West Plains was 130 steers weighed 819 on Tuesday, bring 263.50 in extreme south central Missouri. How about another South Missouri sale with an individual quote? Interstate Regional Stockyards in Cuba, Missouri had a big time quote on some light steer calves. 51 steer calves weighed 461 and bring 349 a pound on Tuesday there. How about Beaver County Stockyards in Beaver, Oklahoma? They can sell them big over there, guys. And that's in the Oklahoma Panhandle. Historically, we haven't been able to sell big feeder cattle that well that far down in the southern plains. But they get the goods at Beaver. They got the buyers there to buy them. 69 steers weighed 947 in the eastern part of Oklahoma Panhandle. Bring 253.50. Don't forget about the Griswold production sale, and then they're going to have Beaver's going to have their own special cow sale on August the 7th. I'm going to be up there in Beaver, Oklahoma for that sale here on August the 7th. How about another outstanding quote from up in northeast Kansas, and that's Rezac Livestock Commission. I think they're going to change. They've had a little change in ownership there. I believe they're going to change the name on that sale. Don't know if they have done it yet, but as far as through our automated market report, we're still getting it at Rezac Livestock Commission in St. Mary's, Kansas. 168 steers weighed 901 on Tuesday and bring 260.85. How about our most impressive quote that I saw anywhere on Tuesday in our Macrocin No BS top quote for the day? Come out of Unionville Livestock Market, recently adding DVAuction broadcasting there. They had 5 loads of those Rockin' R or Smokin' R cattle out of Lucerne, Missouri there. They know how to background them, get them grown, and leave the good in them. Had 5 loads of them, 300 head, averaged 878 pounds a load at $269. And that's your feeder flash for Wednesday.